Alright, what's up guys? And today's m.o.a.b is with Skorpion. I got it, the Skorpion. I hate this sick gun. Really annoying gun. Slow fire rate, really low small magazine. So I went with the extended mags because of that. And you know, because the fire rate's so low and because you got disappearing bullets in this sick game, basically, you know, you just shoot and a lot of the times you just don't get a hit marker and so you die. So this gun was really hard. Lots of rage from this gun, and I'm really glad it's finally done. Really didn't like it. And this guy just sort of was turning and just knew that I was there, so I threw a throwing knife at him and killed him. Okay, so, yeah, you know, what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if have any of you guys actually used this gun. You know, take it out, use it, go play after reading this after watching this commentary, and try it, see how bad it is. I mean, it's horrible. It's a really bad gun. Okay, you know, I'm just going to get straight into it. Talk a little bit about, you know, this, actually, before I do that, just to quickly say, you know, this stage is actually one of the better stages to get m.o.a.b with this gun. I think it's worth saying that I got really close to m.o.a.b about probably 3 or 4 times with this gun. And, you know, just for whatever reason, at like 20 kills or something, I would die. It was just lame. What I wanted to do is jump over this little railing much earlier so that I wouldn't get damaged, but you know, the game said no, so I did try. Don't worry, I did try and jump over it, but it just wouldn't let me. Okay, so anyway, like I said last time, I'm just going to continue on from last time. Last time I talked about the DS, talked about how Nintendo revises their stuff with their handhelds, and I don't like that, but I do like the fact that it doesn't do it with their consoles. And you know, I think really a lot of people are holding out for something like, yeah, check that out, I just knifed that guy and didn't kill him. So yeah, I talked about how like a lot of people, you know, don't like the fact that they buy something and then, you know, they release a new one that's better or it's got improved features, and people hate that. And where was I? Oh yeah, a lot of people are holding out for the 3DS Lite, and you know, instead we got the 3DS XL, which you know, sort of improves the 3DS in some ways, I suppose, but in other ways it's worse. So I mean, you don't even get a charger in the pack, for example. How ridiculous is that? But you know, whatever. Nintendo always have their reasons to do something, and people always still buy this stuff regardless of how ridiculous it is. And that's why, you know, New Super Mario Bros. Me has sold, New Super Mario Bros. Wii has sold 20, 30 million or whatever the heck it is. So yeah, I don't like how, you know, the DS was, well, I'm just going around in circles here. Okay, so the DS, I don't like the fact that they came up with new revisions. Today I'll be talking about how I don't like some of the stuff that Nintendo has done recently at E3. So E3, what is E3? First of all, it's a big gaming conference that Nintendo holds, sorry, not Nintendo holds, that the gaming industry holds every year. And you know, it's basically where developers and companies show off their new products, new games, new hardware, etc. And you know, it's usually held around May or June, and it's been going since, I don't know, for probably at least 15 years now or something like that. So quite a while. And you know, I remember watching the very early E3s back in 1997 onwards or 1998 onwards, I think, back when I was still a kid. And I remember like the main attractions that we do back then was always like basically Nintendo, and you know, they always showed off something, and that's where they showed off Mario Brothers 64, Super Mario 64, sorry, for the first time, and that was epic. I remember that, and you know, Zelda and whatever else, and you know, Nintendo like was the main attraction of the show. Really, like you would always like, you know, buy the magazines. Back then it was like no internet, or at least I didn't have internet. And most people didn't. And, you know, so you would buy magazines and stuff, and, you know, you'd always, like, they'd have a huge section for Nintendo and maybe a small section for Sega or something like that. You know, things have changed nowadays, I suppose, but, you know, it's like, nowadays, nobody really sort of cares about Nintendo. I mean, even as recently, I suppose you could say, as 2004, people really wanted to know what Nintendo were doing, like what they were releasing, stuff like that. Like that was like, again, that was still the main attraction of the show. For example, in 2004, I remember probably one of Nintendo's best E3s was when they showed off the Twilight Princess for the first time. And, you know, that was epic. Like, at the very end of the show, end of the conference, you know, they finished everything. They'd been talking about, you know, DS or something, whatever else for like, you know, probably close to an hour. And then just at the very end, they, you know, showed off this new trailer for a new Zelda that was coming out on GameCube at the time. You know, Wii wasn't obviously announced, and so it was coming out on GameCube at the time, and it was just epic. It was just amazing. I mean, it was like, you can go on YouTube now and check out some. Well, don't go now. Watch the rest of this commentary. But yeah, go on YouTube after the commentary and check out the audience reaction for E3 2004 Zelda Twilight Princess. And it was just amazing. It was just epic. I mean, it's fanboy dream. I wish I was there. It was just amazing. It was just so good. And you know, back then, like I said, like Nintendo were the king. Nintendo were, you know, like people loved it. People, you know, like it was epic. Like Nintendo was a star attraction. Big contrast from last year and this year, where basically last year, you know, they showed off the Wii U, and you know, it was okay, I suppose. It wasn't anything really amazing. It shouldn't have been, you know, it should have been so much better considering it was a new hardware launch or a new hardware reveal. Sorry, and you know, and this year even worse. This year Nintendo had like they had everything was set up perfectly for them. They had the best chance to win E3. Sorry, I should probably not say win E3, but you know, as you know, in the last couple of years, like everybody sort of talks about who won E3. Basically, who had the best E3 presentation and show, and you know, like this year they were in the best position to do it because they were going to show off a new console and it was going to be epic and they would have games and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I've talked about this a little bit on my E3 reaction video, which I'm not sure is still up or not. But they failed horribly, and it was just so bad. You know, and you just contrast that to like 2004, where they showed off, you know, the Zelda, and it was just it's just a big difference, you know, huge difference. It's a completely different Nintendo, really, between then and now. So yeah, you know, I don't like that. I think like that's one of the things I don't like about Nintendo nowadays is that they just don't care about E3. E3 is more like an investors or shareholders show, where they show off and you know that kind of stuff to the shareholders rather than the gamers, and I just don't like it. Like especially now where Nintendo said last year that, you know, Wii U is going to be all about the hardcore. We're going to be catering to the hardcore. That's the focus. That's the target. That's what we're trying to capture again, the hardcore market. Blah 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 blah. But then you know, they have their E3 show and they pull off stuff. They show off stuff like Wii U Fit or Wii Fit U, whatever the heck it's called, and you know, Sing It or Sing or something, and you know, all these kind of lame party games and casual games. And you know, the only hardcore game they show off is Pikmin 3, which is hardly hardcore. You know, anyone can play Pikmin 3. It's not a hardcore title. You know, it's not something that people want to like really immerse themselves in and like collect everything and all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, I suppose it is, I guess, but it's I don't consider it hardcore. I consider it semi-hardcore, mainstream / hardcore. I don't know, whatever. You know, I consider Black Ops 2 hardcore, but that wasn't shown off. But you know, I understand that there's rights and exclusivity deals going on between Microsoft and Activision and all this kind of stuff, so they can't do that. But you know, they showed off Zombie U. Yeah, I suppose that's a hardcore title, you know. But still, it just wasn't very good. Like people wanted to see F-Zero, they wanted to see a new Mario game, maybe. They wanted to see. I think it was a bit unrealistic to expect to be able to see a new Zelda game, but they wanted to see, you know, Star Fox, that kind of stuff. Metroid, I definitely wanted to see Metroid. But no, we get Pikmin 3, we get, you know, Nintendo Land 3 times, and we get, you know, all this other kind of lame stuff. And we get like, what was that guy? The guy from Ubisoft that has a French accent. He was talking about Zombie U. You know, that guy was lame. Everything about the conference was lame. But again, as usual, I'm getting cut short, so I'm going to have to continue on the next one. But thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.